Playing this game is like being dropped into the unknown right from the start. All we could potentially know about the character we play as is that it is somehow overlapping with the reddish light at the bottom of the dark ocean. Everything else is a complete blur, even about basic questions like, where do I come from? Or what happened before I woke up here? So, all we have is our curiosity and ability to swim, and swimming we go in this ocean of water, fish, plants, and possibilities. Among the wildlife, we come upon a little thing that has our very own black and yellow color scheme. And the character immediately knows how to interact with it and bring it back to its robot life. It makes a scan of us with its red light, and confirms that we are indeed part of its troop. The reason why this is clear is because we are only scanned upon helping the first robot, but not by any of the following ones we help on their robot fins. So they must have shared their information that I am part of their side among each other through some kind of shared database perhaps? This is already our first clue about our potential background. As we continue on swimming in this beautiful environment, along with awe-inspiring music and immersive sound effects, we make acquaintance with another repeating friend of ours, the great white shark with scars all over its body. Or is it really our friend? After all, it takes down one of our friendly helper bots. And who knows, maybe it has these scars because it has been causing trouble to other life out there? At most, we are getting some clues that the scarred shark is known to figures that look similar to us, and venerated in some fashion as someone important. After coming upon ruins that seem to have been sprawling with life before, we enter its pools. Like going into a process of self-reflection. In this we see again the red light. And the camera pans to what looks like a pathway of stars, flowing from a circle orbiting this red core in the eye of a storm. They are leading us, like the dreams of our life, to one of the four corners of this inner sanctum. Following curiously this path of stars, we offer our energy to this corner, which now awakens the spirits of life that had been here. Not only in this sanctum, but also on the outside, where the previous deserted landscape comes back to life, as the resourceful water of waters rises in the ocean. One has to ask, have we revived just the outer landscape through doing this? Or have we also given life to an aspect of ourselves that we have lost? Something of our forgotten past, perhaps? In any case, safe to say we live in a kinship with these creatures. We continue our way through the ocean, joyously swimming with all kinds of friends in the water, and further exploring the temples of this forgotten past. We also go through these gates, where our little helper robots seem to leave us behind, as if they cannot continue on beyond this area. Though I don't know where they are going. Slowly, it is revealed that there seems to have arisen something new among all this. The sun, which provided the waters to the humans, and which they gave back, which allowed more life in the water to flourish, now had been co-opted by an inverted triangle with an eye-emitting red light. And the one who presents this apparent accomplishment of a triumph over nature is none other than someone who we have a striking resemblance to. But is it really us? After all, our chest is not glowing with a red triangle. Could this be someone else? We continue on and make our encounters with the scarred shark, as if following its lead, and also giving life to more corners of our inner sanctum, and in turn also giving it to the environment. Then, after swimming down in an awe-inspiring scene with various majestic whales, we make our first encounter with one of these triangular things. And to our horror, they emit a threatening sound that goes faster as we move closer. We disable them, and see the scarred shark diving into their midst. Could he maybe have gotten scarred from these? Why are they here anyway? Is something being protected from outside forces with these? Whatever it is, someone is real paranoid about it. We go in, and suddenly a loud boom in the direction the scarred shark swam in. We follow it and help it out. It still hasn't super warmed up to us though, only lingering for a little, and quickly heading on again. Now, we seem to be entering the main core of this strange mechanical construct, and we observe how it is a factory, using the blue life energy to create more of the little robot helpers. Instead of giving it back to life and have it sprawl and be free through entering a pool of reflection, it is here merely used to create a horde of unreflecting robots. But that is not all. We are also now being shown that, just as the little robots and the minds, we ourselves have been created through this distortion of life energy. This reveal can be shocking to the player, but the character is always curiously oogling around, not ever shying away from seeking the truth. We go deeper into this red underworld, and together with the Scarred Shark, want to put an end to this never-ending life-exploiting assembly line, creating obedient servants. Beyond the Red Sea of Minds, we encounter the main triangle robot, and it clearly is unhappy to see us. The Scarred Shark goes right for its eye. But the Enslaver robot got an electroshock move to take out both the shark and our character, revealing that really we are a creation as we have discovered. Sadly, we lose our friend in the process, and whatever fighting power we could have to bring an end to this is gone, leaving us essentially helpless. Hiding beneath a vast sea of minds, walled off in deeply rooted paranoia, is the source of life itself and the truth of our history. We enter one last huge pool of reflection. And as we have already offered it to the four corners, we now see its receptive container in the middle. And upon giving it life as we had before, the Scarred Shark comes back to life. Almost like this force inside us that would offer resistance to this injustice is back alive and has come to fight with us again. Our character too is healed from its injury and now emits a golden light, like the sun itself rose inside it. And with this healing and resurrection, we are now ready to delve into the real depths. And with our newfound strength, destroy the minds that suppress life itself. We enter the last big horde of minds and destroy them all, head again straight for the eye and root out this force that greedily gulped up all life like a parasitic vampire, creating not free, self-reflective autonomous beings, but obedient, unreflective slaves. And with that, everything greens. With all that said, what is this story really trying to express? Is it about the relationship of technology and nature? I think saying that is not wrong, but it doesn't express how it really relates to our life experience. What I think this expresses is the development of our consciousness itself. Similarly to technology, consciousness, in its striving for independence, has gained the ability to manipulate nature for its own goals. But, as we can see, this striving has big downsides, mainly that the newfound independence makes us forget our ultimate reliance on nature, no matter the supernatural feats we might be able to achieve. This is a common motif in many stories. So, it takes a unique individual like our character here to not just continue using nature as we have for our own gains, but come into contact with it, to even realize at all what kind of damage these apparent gains have caused. In going into this inner sanctum, as I call it, we use our consciousness to explore the nature of our being, which really is much more important than creating some kind of walled ocean with surveying robots and minds. In a way, it is an impressive feat that consciousness has managed to accomplish this. Though, what really is essential for living a fulfilled life is not achieving supernatural triumphs, but to learn what is going on in our own hearts. This is done by the character through opening its heart to the four corners of its inner world, which in turn also allows the outer natural world to thrive. To briefly get into why there are even 4 small temples in this inner sanctum, the reason this is so is a very common motif we see all over the world in the expression of the wholeness of the personality, usually done through mandalas. If you would look at this area from above, it would also look like a circle divided by 4. As said, this is an expression of an achieved unity, as the psychologist Carl Jung wrote about. Alongside this, he also wrote how the triad is usually a symbol that expresses some kind of process, but not yet an attained wholeness. In essence, the development of consciousness for some reason contains this pattern of triads and quaternities in expressing itself symbolically. It is not a phenomenon exclusive to humanity either. We can see it in nature as well. For example, the pufferfish is also an artist who creates mandalas. Ultimately, there is a lot to say about it, and lots to read about it. But I will leave it at that and limit myself to the meaning expressed in the story alone. One more question about this that I think is curious to ask is, how come technology is here basically this representation of consciousness? Is it because it is able to manipulate nature? I think with this we can make a quick dive into the historical meaning of the word technology. The closest source would be the ancient Greek techne, which means craft or art. This techne can go further back into the Proto-Indo-European tek, which means to create. So it seems to be about creation, maybe expressing the creation of consciousness itself. When we look for mythological parallels, the most striking one would be the myth of Prometheus, who is a titan and the one who steals the fire of the gods to bring it to humanity. This fire is the techne, and I think this is an apt expression of consciousness itself as well. One of the most common symbols of consciousness is light, and of course with a fire, we have light as well. To bring it back to ABZÜ, I guess its main message is, why don't we use this gift of consciousness we have to explore what is in our hearts, rather than how we can manipulate what is around us? This would allow us to feel all the damage that has been done, and through grieving this, lead us to a healing process that can root out this manipulative behavior. This is my first video essay where I really jumped into the symbolic explanations more in depth, simply because this game requires me to do so, since its main language is symbolism. I hope to have brought some insight into the meaning of this story, and that you enjoyed my interpretation.